I feel very strongly that this is a nation to thank God for, in spite of all that we are experiencing. Just 3 years ago, I celebrated my 60th birthday, and I had the privilege of going down to Jos, or may I say going up to Jos, because in Nigeria when you are going to Jos, you are going actually up. Going up to Jos, and I found myself where I was born. I had an assignment around my village, and therefore I decided to go and sleep the night over to my birthday in the village where I was born. And when I woke up early in the morning, the first thing I did was to drive to the general hospital in Barkinladi. I got there very early. There were some nurses already on duty, and they were still waiting for the doctors to arrive, because they said they would be arriving at a later time according to their arrangements. And I just arrived in the hospital, in the village hospital, and I just called on the nurses that I saw, and they told me their matron was around, and I asked to see the matron, and they brought up together all the other nurses. I said I wanted to see them. They were all gathered around me, and I told them I came to the hospital because I was celebrating my 60th birthday, and I was in that hospital to let them know that I was born in that hospital. Wow, there was a big shout. I said when I was born, my placenta must have been buried somewhere around this hospital, and that it was good for me to be back to the hospital to thank God for the doctors and nurses that God used when I was born. And then I tried to ask them, all of them, the matron, the nurses, all the staff that gathered, I asked if any of them was 60 years old. None of them was 60 years old. I said to them that then I was born before any of you was born, and I was born in this hospital where you all are working. I have come to give thanks to God, and I would like to just pray in this place. And so they asked the matron, because I had asked that one of them should pray for me. I was telling them that they were the nurses that took care of me. The doctors there were the doctors that took care of me. For them, they were not. And of course they were not, but then I felt that whatever the nurses and doctors who were continuing the great task that these doctors and nurses had performed. And so it was a beautiful day as they prayed for me. Those nurses and staff of the hospital prayed for me, and we took a picture together to say that this is somebody who was born in this hospital. Some of them were telling me nobody ever did that, to come back, particularly a person of my own age, to come back to thank God for that hospital. Now, that hospital was there, and that's where I was born. And that hospital has born in that hospital like I was born there. And the hospital